Elias had fished the same waters for 30 years. Same boat, same nets, same route out and back before the sun had fully decided to rise. But the sea was changing. The nets came up lighter every season. The village grew quieter every winter. Young people left for the cities and did not come back. He was 54 years old and running out of reasons to keep going out. Then one morning, on a Tuesday, unremarkable in every other way, his net snagged on something 30 feet below the surface. Something that glowed. He dove without thinking. That was the honest truth of it. No decision, no deliberation. He just went over the side of the boat and down. 30 feet. 40. It was a door. Ancient stone covered in barnacles and something else. A light that had no source he could name. Warm, amber, and aqua. Like the sea had swallowed the sun long ago and kept it. He put his hand on it. It opened. On the other side, cities. Coral towers that reach toward the surface like prayers. Rivers of light that move the way rivers move when they know where they are going. Creatures, large and slow and ancient, who turned to look at him with eyes that said, "We have been waiting." He spent 3 days there, or what felt like 3 days. Time moved differently below. The tides were the hours. The light was the calendar. He learned their language, not with words, but with something older than words. The way the water moves, the way bioluminescence spells meaning across the skin of things. They showed him maps, charts of the ocean floor that no human hand had ever drawn. They showed him where the fish had gone. Not dead, not gone forever, but retreated, waiting for the sea to be safe again. And then they told him the one thing they needed from him. Not gold, not sacrifice, just knowledge, carried back up, into the world above. When he broke the surface, it was 3 weeks later. His boat had drifted 2 miles. His village had held a small memorial. His daughter had stopped crying only the day before. He came back different, in the way that people come back different when they have seen something too large for ordinary language. He tried to tell them. The fisherman at the dock, the priest, the mayor. His daughter, who held his face in her hands and looked at him for a long time and said, quietly, "Dad, what happened to you?" He never found the right words. But the sea had given him something no one could take away. He knew where the fish had gone. He knew how to bring them back. And he knew that some truths are meant to be lived rather than explained. He never went back through the door. He looked for it, once, twice, but the sea keeps its secrets on its own terms. What he did instead, he told the fishermen where to cast and where never to cast again. He spoke at the village council about fishing seasons and depths and the patience that the sea requires of those who love it. Slowly, over years, not months, the ocean came back to life. Elias died at 81. On his last morning, his daughter sat beside him on the dock where he had always watched the water. He was very still, and then he smiled. Not at her, at the sea, as if it had just said something only he could hear. Here is what his story means. Some knowledge cannot be shared. It can only be carried, quietly, faithfully, all the way to the end.